Okay. Can you be more specific? Distance of closest approach means it doesn't speak about energies, it speaks about the distance, right? So what happens in the Rutherford's model? It was observed that you have a positive nucleus and the alpha particles, when they reach, there will be a maximum distance of separation. That is, so there will be some distance of separation between the nucleus and the alpha rays, beyond which the alpha rays cannot travel. Right? The maximum distance that the alpha particle is able to travel close to the nucleus before it takes a turn of 180 degrees is what is called as distance of closest approach. So what happens as distance of closest approach? By R naught will be equal to half mv square. So what did I write? Potential energy is getting, the kinetic energy has got converted into the potential energy. Right? So when you solve this, you will get this expression. So then you have this impact parameter. So what is this impact parameter? The perpendicular displacement of the perpendicular distance of the velocity vector of the alpha particle from the central line of the nucleus when the particle is far away from the nucleus is called impact parameter. So if the nucleus is here, it is like this, is the central line, this distance. So this distance is what is called as impact parameter, and it is given by this expression. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Zt square cos theta by 2 divided by Ek, where Z is the atomic number of the nucleus, Ek is the kinetic energy of the particle, and theta is the angle of scattering. Okay. So this is not needed. Next. The Bohr's atomic model. So in Bohr's atomic model, see, all the questions will be based only on this model because you have many formulae only from here. So what does the Bohr's atomic model actually have? What are all the formulae that you know? What is this formula? MBR is equal to NH by 2 pi.
It's a second law.
There is something like, what is the name of this? Angular momentum is quantized. So angular momentum is quantized. So when a particle revolves in an orbit, so the electron will be able to revolve only in those orbits where the angular momentum of the electron is said to be quantized. Okay, and the radiation of energy occurs only when an electron jumps from one permitted orbit to another permitted orbit. So if this happens, E2 minus E1 is equal to h nu. This is the equation for the energy, right? So by using both those expressions, you will get the expression for R. I'm not showing you all the derivations. How to get the expression for R? Just tell me what equations are supposed to be equated. mv square by R is equal to, who's providing the necessary centripetal force? So that is kZe into Ze divided by the distance square. So cancel R and R. So when you rearrange the equation for the value of V, you need to get it from the angular momentum quantization. Then when you rearrange the equation, you will get n square h square divided by 4 pi square mk into Ze square. So R is directly proportional to n square by Z. So radius of the first orbit is 0.53 angstrom, which is also called as the Bohr radius, that is taken as the reference. Right. So can I write it as 0.53 into n square divided by Z? This is the radius of the nth orbit. Right. Next is the frequency of the electron. So frequency of the electron is given by this formula. Similarly, the kinetic energy and everything you have to memorize it. So 13.6 into Z square divided by n square. So potential energy is given by this expression. The total energy is directly proportional to Z square divided by n square. You will get it as minus 13.6 into Z square divided by n square. It will be in terms of electron volt. Right. Next, they will ask you to calculate the wavelength of radiation. So wavelength is 1 by lambda is equal to r, where r is the Rydberg constant, into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square, where n1 is going to be the higher orbit and n2, sorry, n1 is going to be the lower orbit and n2 is going to be the higher orbit. So the value of the Rydberg constant given by 1.097 into 10 power 7 meter inverse. Right. See, 1 by lambda is also called as what? There is another name.
So wave numbers.
Yeah, you call it as wave number. Sometimes the question can be asked as wave number also. So you need to be careful. Similarly, de Broglie's explanation of Bohr's second postulate. So that is MVR is equal to NH by 2 pi can be derived. So he told that electron has both, electron has wave nature associated. So the wave nature, since the wave nature is associated with it, the electron will be able to complete one orbit only when the circumference of the orbit in which it is revolving is equal to n lambda. So which implies n into lambda, but lambda according to de Broglie is nh by, sorry, h by mv. So if you rearrange the equation, mv into Rn is equal to nh by 2 pi. This is what is the Bohr's quantization condition. Okay. So hydrogen spectrum series also you guys know, there is nothing much for me to teach. Lyman series, Balmer series, Paschen, bracket and Fund. So you have to memorize the regions in which the electromagnetic radiations will be produced. Okay, these are all the concepts based on which the questions are asked. So what is the answer for the first one? Did anyone solve this? The
27,
20
by 7.
Okay.
Option A.
Let me check. Yeah, right. So the electron in hydrogen atom jumps from the third excited state to the second excited state. Okay. And subsequently to the first excited state. The ratio of the respective wavelengths lambda 1 by lambda 2 of the photons emitted in this processes. So what formula should be applied? 1 by lambda is equal to R into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. So for the first case, what do you mean by third excited state? Which orbit is that? Fourth. Third excited state to the second excited state. Second excited state is? Third. And subsequently to the first excited state. That is 1. Sorry, 2. So 1 by lambda 1 and calculate 1 by lambda 2, take the ratio of both, that will give you the answer. Next. An excited helium plus ion emits 2 photons in succession with the wavelengths 108.5 nanometer and 30.4 nanometer in making a transition to the ground state. The quantum number n corresponding to its initial excited state is. So how to do? What is the idea actually?
Sir,
Hmm?
since the energy is emitted,
Energy is emitted, after that your voice break.
sir, since the energy is emitted as photons, can you say that it's a part of Balmer series?
No, you cannot say that thing. Photon means they're trying to say that the radiations are coming out. That's it. It's light. That light can be in any region. Need not be only visible region. So you just have to write
Sir.
that. Yeah.
So you can divide that with wavelength. No, sir. E2 minus E1 is equal to
Is equal to
1240 divided by 30.4.
okay. That's what you need to do next. But what will you write for E2? Minus 13.6
The minus 30.6 into it.
z square divided by n2 square minus of minus 13.6 z square divided by
N1 square.
is equal to 1240 into. So this is also an electron volt only, so not an issue, divided by 108.5 nanometer. So n2 square is how much?
So 1, sir.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Read the question. N2 is the higher orbit. 2 is higher orbit. 1 is the lower orbit. So what have they given?
So given N1 is 1.
The quantum number n corresponding to its initial excited state. So n2 is n.
N1 is 1.
N1 is not 1. It is making successive transitions. It is not directly jumping from n to 1. It is coming to some intermediate level. Let's say okay, let me take it as m. Okay. Then while coming from n to m, it is giving a wavelength of this much value. Now what should it do? It should come from m to 1 to give a value of 30.4. Did you understand this question? That is what is meant by 2 photons are released in succession. That can happen only through subsequent transition. Each transition will correspond to one wavelength. That is the meaning. Are you able to understand? Similarly, I need to apply the same formula again. Minus 13.6 into z square divided by, now n2 square will become m square, minus of minus 13.6 into z square divided by n square is going to be 1 now, is equal to 1240 divided by 30.4 nanometer. So how many unknowns are there? N and m. There are 2 unknowns, 2 equations are there. Solve for it, we'll get the answer. Calculation part you do it later.
Sir.
Tell me.
So instead you can just directly write E2 minus E1 is equal to like that. Instead of E2 you can write it as 1240 divided by 108.5 and E1 is 1240 divided by 30.4 is equal to
Right side, you
minus.
should write the difference of both.
Yes, sir.
Yes, that was it. That is what you will get at the end. See, by the way, this also can be remembered like a formula. Have this in your mind. Energy in terms of wavelength is given as 1240 electron volt divided by the value of lambda in terms of nanometer. So anyone who got the answer?
5, sir.
Huh?
5.
5. Okay. That's the answer. Next, the calculation part you do it later. In lithium, 2+ electron in the first orbit is excited to a level by radiation of wavelength lambda. When the ion gets de-excited to the ground state in all possible ways, including intermediate emissions, a total of 6 spectral lengths are observed. What is the value of lambda? So first is absorption spectrum. So what is the formula?
Sir, E equal to hc by lambda.
Okay. So what is the energy it is going to possess in the orbit which it has reached? So this energy you're trying to talk about is the difference in energy. By absorbing certain, so lithium ion in first bohr, so there is an electron in the first bohr orbit. It is excited to a particular orbit by giving it a wavelength of lambda, right? So it is in an excited state. When it is getting de-excited to the ground state in all possible ways, including intermediate emission, a total of 6 spectral lines are observed. What is the formula for the number of spectral lines?
So n
This
is
would
n minus 1.
small n into n minus 1 divided by 2. So the number of spectral lines are 6. 6 is equal to n into n minus 1 divided by 2. How much are you getting?
4, sir. 1, 2, 3.
So it is in the fourth orbit, right? So the electron which was in the first orbit has got excited at the fourth orbit by absorbing a wavelength of lambda. Now, if you're able to calculate the energy difference between the fourth orbit and the first orbit and equate it to hc by lambda, then you should get the value of lambda. So E4 minus E1 is equal to hc by lambda. Okay, in the place of hc by lambda, you can again use this formula 1240 electron volt divided by lambda. You need not sit and calculate. And left hand side, you can use minus 13.6 into z square divided by n square. So what is the value of z here? It will be 3, lithium, no? So z square will be 9. Okay, that calculation part and all you do it later. This chapter will take a lot of calculation. There is any doubt in the concept, ask. Next, a helium plus ion is in its first excited state. Its ionization energy is so it is 13.6 into z square divided by n square.
Sir, 13.6, sir.
That's z square is how much? No?
4, sir.
So 13.6 into z square. Z square, no? Z is 2. 4 divided by the first. Yes, 13.6. See, the energy in the orbit will be minus 13.6. It is the equal amount of energy you need to supply for it to become ionized. So that's what is meant by ionization energy. If the energy of the electron is minus 13.6, ionization energy will be the negative of it. That is plus 13.6. Taking the wavelength of first Balmer line in hydrogen spectrum, n is equal to 3 to n is equal to 660. The wavelength of second Balmer line, n is equal to 4 to n is equal to will be. They have given everything, no? Why are they framing this question? They themselves told n is equal to 3 to n is equal to. Then what is the objective of giving the first part of the question? Hmm?
So the second wavelength will be higher than 660, sir. So,
It will be higher than 660. How do you know? It will be higher. See, 1 to 2. If I calculate the energy difference between these two and calculate the energy difference between these two, which one will be high?
so the first case, sir.
In this case, energy will be high, energy difference. Or this you do E2 minus E1 will be higher, or E3 minus E1 will be higher.
So E3 minus E1 will be higher, sir.
So when this is going to be higher, the energy is inversely proportional to wavelength. So when the electron is jumping from 3 to 2, the wavelength is this much. When it is jumping from 4 to 2, will the wavelength decrease or increase? So 4 to 2 energy will be higher. So wavelength will be
Lower.
yes. So the possible options are 3838.9 and 488.9. The remaining two are, and 642.7 is also possible. So what are you going to apply? Hc by lambda divide both, you will get the answer.
Sir, we can directly apply 1 by lambda equals R into 1 by N1 1 square minus 1 by
Yeah, that also you can do. That also you can do. I'm just doing because we had been applying a common formula. I don't want to apply each formula for each problem. Let's follow one common formula so that we can remember better. That's what I think. Both mean the same actually. When this goes to the other side, you're telling in terms of wave number, I'm speaking in terms of energy. That's it. So HC will get cancelled. Lambda 2 by lambda 1, 13.6, 13.6 con, z square con. So you'll have 9, so 5 divided by 36, and this would be 12 divided by 64. Right. So lambda 2 by lambda 1 will be equal to 5 by 36 into 64 by 12. So you know the value of lambda 1, that will go to the other side, just multiply, you'll get the answer. Five into 64 divided by 36. 488.88 is the answer. So this is got it. So do the next one. 7. A particle of mass m is moving in a circular orbit. In a central potential field, UR is equal to half kr square. If post quantization conditions are applied, the radius of the possible orbitals and energy levels vary with quantum number s. So generally, if you see in our derivations and all, the potential energy is inversely proportional to R. That is why we got all those expressions. R is directly proportional to n square by z. Energy is directly proportional to z square divided by n square. But instead of it being inversely proportional to R, had it been like this, then what would have been the radius and the energy expressions? Okay. So since energy is given as half kr square, how will you calculate the force? Because for you to calculate the radius, you need to know what is the force that is acting on the particle. So F is equal to,
So du by dr.
yeah, it is actually minus du by dr for conservative forces. Since electrostatic force is going to be conservative in nature, I can apply minus du by dr. Okay. So if I take only the magnitude, because I want to know only what is the magnitude, so F will be equal to du by dr means how much kr. So mv square by r is equal to k into r, which implies r square is equal to mv square by k. Now apply mbr is equal to nh by 2 pi in this expression, and tell me how is r and n related.
Sir, doubt, sir.
Tell me.
Sir, how potential energy is half kr square, sir?
In this case, it is varying like that. Why are you worried about it? Some form of energy. They are saying, had it varied like this, then what would have been the radius?
Okay. Sir, option C, please.
See here. E. Next. Do the next one. In a hydrogen-like atom, when an electron jumps from the M shell to the L shell, the wavelength of the emitted radiation is lambda. If the electron jumps from N shell to L shell, the wavelength of the emitted radiation KLM. So if you take L as the first shell, then M will be taken as the second, and N will be taken as the third. So again, apply the same formula which I applied for this problem, and then tell. Oh, we didn't do the sixth one, huh?
No, we didn't do.
Okay, okay. After this problem, do it.
Sir, option C.
So option A, sir.
Sir,
I think A is
C,
only
sir.
right
C.
because they're inversely proportional. So Hc by lambda 1 will be equal to minus 13.6 into z square into, for the first transition, 1 by 4 minus 1 by 1. So 1 by 1 minus 1 by 4, that will be 3 by 4. So Hc by lambda 2 will be minus 13.6 into z square into 1 by 1 minus 1 by 9. So this will be 8 by 9. This will be 3 by 4. So lambda 2 by lambda 1 is equal to 3 by 4 into 9 by 8. Oh, sorry. 3 by 4 into 9 by 8. Just by
Sir, I think it's 3 to 2, sir.
KL. An electron jumps from N shell to. Is it 3 to 2?
No, sir, 3
Yes,
to
sir.
1 only. L is
Sir,
1.
3 to 2, sir.
The 3 to 2 only answers are matching. Nowhere else you have 32, no?
Sir, it
Right.
will be KLM and no, sir.
Hmm. Then you should do. Then you should do.
First
K will be 1, M will be 2.
Then you
sir.
should do 2 to 3. Then you should do 2 to 4. If you do like that, you are getting a.
Yes, sir.
One by 4 minus 1 by 9. How much is this? 5 by 9. 5 by 36. This one will be 1 by 4 minus 1 by 16. That will be 12 divided by 36. So, right. So 5 by 36 and 12 by 36. It is 5 by 36 into 36 by 2. Even then, we are not getting. No? 5 by 12 is only.
So it's 12 by 64.
See, none of the options are matching actually.
Sir, for the second one, it is 12 by 64, sir.
Yes, sir. 12 by 64.
Why 64? KLM, no? For 2, 3. This will be how much?
So 1 by 4 minus 1 by 16 is 12 by 64.
It will be 4 to do, sir.
Okay. So if you get 64 here, then is it coming? Are you getting the answer 5 by 36 into? Into 64 by 12. Is this what you're saying? So this will be how much? 32. This will go 6 times. This will go 16 times. This will go 3 times. 8. Ah, 20 by 27. Yes. Next. Do the sixth one.
Sir, n equals 2 to n equals 4, sir. Option D.
N equal to 2 to n equal to 4. I think that is the answer. Yeah. Ninth one. Ninth one. What is the answer?
Sir, 16 A not
16. Right. So Rn is equal to n square by z into R naught. What is the value of R naught? R naught is 0.53 angstrom. That is not needed. Initially in the ground state, so n is equal to 1. It has got excited to some state. So n is equal to what? For the wavelength to be 980 angstrom. So Hc by lambda will be equal to minus 13.6 into z square is 1 into 1 by n square minus 1 by 1. Lambda is 980 angstrom, right? So 980 angstrom. There's this many electron volt angstrom. So angstrom will get cancelled. So what is the value of n you have got?
4, sir.
4. So it has gone to 4 months. So 4 square divided by hydrogen atom 1 into R naught. So 16. That is A naught. So what do you mean by this limit frequency?
Sir, N2 will be, N1 will be infinity, sir.
Yes,
It will be VL by 25.
VL by 20. That's right. Okay. See, all other problems are similar only. Same formula applied. You people try it. We'll go to photoelectric effect. So what is the formula for photoelectric effect? Let's just look into that also. So for photoelectric effect, what are all the terms that you need to know? One is work function, the second is threshold frequency, and the threshold wavelength. Right. So what do you mean by work function?
Sir, minimum energy required to
Yes, it is a minimum energy required to eject an electron from the metal surface.
minimum energy.
Threshold frequency means
Minimum frequency.
it is minimum frequency. What is threshold wavelength then? Threshold, see, when frequency is minimum, what will happen to the wavelength?
Shall be maximum.
Maximum. So minimum frequency is for threshold. For threshold wavelength, it is a maximum wavelength of light which can eject a photoelectron from a metal surface. So how are the three related? Phi is equal to h into nu naught, where nu naught is the threshold frequency, or hc divided by lambda max. Okay. So then you know the laws of photoelectric effect. There's the equation for photoelectric effect. What does it state? The energy supplied by the photon will be able to overcome the work function and give some kinetic energy to the particle. So Ek will be equal to h into nu minus nu naught. That's what is given there. But nu you can write it as c by lambda. So h into c, hc into 1 by lambda minus 1 by lambda naught. You can take it like this also. Next is there are certain graphs related to the photoelectric current versus the intensity. So photocurrent versus intensity is a straight line. Variation of photocurrent versus potential is given like this. For different intensities is given like this. And what is the name of this? It is called as the retarding potential. So what do you mean by retarding potential?
Sir, minimum potential required to be applied to restrict the
Applied to
maximum
which,
kinetic. Yeah.
applied to which part? Anode or cathode?
Sir, anode.
Which anode is the collector plate. Applied to the anode to
So to restrict the highest kinetic energy particle to reach the anode plate.
very good. That's right. That's dropping potential. So variation of photoelectric current versus potential. But intensity is kept constant. Then what will happen? You will have different retarding potentials, right? But the saturation current will be the same here, right? So these are the graphs, and this graph is important. So how did you get this graph? So there is a graph between V0 and frequency. So how are they both related? h nu is equal to h nu naught plus, instead of kinetic energy, can you write it as ev naught? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So v naught will be equal to minus h divided by e into nu naught plus h nu plus h by e into nu. Now this is looking like the form y is equal to mx plus c. Then you draw the graph, you will get the answer. So that's how this graph is drawn. Similarly, frequency versus photoelectric current. So after the threshold frequency, how much ever you increase the frequency, the photocurrent is going to be constant. The intensity versus stopping potential. Intensity doesn't play any role in the stopping potential, so it is going to be constant. Okay. So photocurrent versus time lag T, with respect to time, it will be like this. So this is what says the photoelectrons are generated within 10 power minus 9 seconds, since the light is falling on the metal surface, right? So after that, it is going to be constant. Then you need to know the de Broglie wavelength. That is E is equal to hc by, lambda is equal to h divided by mv, or h divided by p, or lambda is equal to h divided by root of 2m into q into v for charged particles which are accelerated through a potential v. So different values are given here. You can go through it. Right. We'll do few problems. So look at this. The stopping potential V naught is as a function of frequency for sodium emitter as shown in the figure. The work function of sodium from the data plotted in the figure will be So what is the equation of that straight line?
So V naught is equal to 1 by 2 into 10 power 14 into
No,
V.
tell me the equation, general equation in terms of H and H, E and U naught.
Sir, V naught equal to h by e into v minus 5 by e. Sir.
H by V naught is equal to H by E into, just now I wrote. 1 minute. This one only, no. This H into nu naught is what we call it as work function. Can I write it like this? So what are all the values that are known? So when so what are the coordinate of this point? 0, comma
4 into 10 power.
sorry 4, comma 0.
4 into 10 power.
So 0 is equal to 4 into 10 power 14. No. So H is 6.63 into 10 power minus 34 into nu is how much? 4 into 10 power 14 divided by 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 minus W naught divided by 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. This will get cancelled. So W naught will be equal to multiply these two. That will be the answer. So 6.63 into 4 is how much? But 6.63 into 4, when you multiply, the answer will come out in joule. But if you look at the options, they are given in terms of electron volt. So 1 joule is
1.6 and 10 power minus 19.
again you have to divide it with 1.6. That will give you the answer.
So 1.66.
Sorry. 1 point.
Option D, sir.
Second option.
66. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's right. Next one. A 2 milliwatt laser operates at a wavelength of 500 nanometer. The number of photons that will be emitted per second is?
Sir, option B, sir.
Option D. Yeah?
B, sir. 5 into 10 power 15.
Yes, that's right. So there is a formula like this. Number of photons emitted per second is equal to the power divided by the energy of each photon. So power is given, wavelength is given, so indirectly energy is given. You know the power, you know the energy, substituted, that will give you the value of n by t. Next. Third one. In a photoelectric effect experiment, the threshold wavelength of light is 380 nanometer. The wavelength of incident light is 260 nanometer. The maximum kinetic energy of the emitted electrons will be.
Sir, 1.5 electron volt.
1.5 electron volt. Okay. That's right.
Yes, so 1.5.
Next one. The electric field of light wave is given as E is equal to 10 power minus 3 cos of 2 pi x divided by 5 into 10 power minus 7 minus 2 pi into 6 into 10 power 14 t x cap Newton per coulomb. This light falls on a metal plate of work function 2 electron volt. The stopping potential of the electrons is. So the electric field is given.
So 0.48, sir.
0.4 is. Yeah, right. So what is the wavelength of the light that is falling on it?
So 5,000 Armstrongs.
5,000 angstrom. Then so the light that is falling hc by lambda should be equal to what? It should be able to overcome the work function that is phi naught plus E into V naught. So hc by lambda, substitute it and calculate. Work function is given as 2 electron volt. Calculate the value of V naught. How much are you getting? 0.48. Right?
Yes, sir.
So they've given you the energy as 12375 divided by lambda in terms of angstrom. Next. When a certain photosensitive plate is illuminated with monochromatic light of frequency nu, the stopping potential for the photocurrent is minus V naught by 2. When the surface is illuminated by monochromatic light of frequency nu by 2, the stopping potential is minus V naught. The threshold frequency for the photoelectric emission is.
So 3/2 nu, sir.
3/2 nu. Yeah, right. W naught and the surface is, so h nu by 2 will be equal to W naught minus E into V naught. So dividing with 2 on both the sides and subtracting both the expressions, you get 3h nu by 4 is equal to 3/4 into W naught. Right. How to do the sixth one? In a photoelectric experiment, the wavelength of light incident on a metal is changed from 300 nanometer to 400 nanometer. The decrease in stopping potential is close to. So again, write down the same expression, subtract both. How much is it?
1 volt, sir.
Approximately 1 volt. Okay. Again, you will have the same equation. Instead of nu, you will write it as C by lambda. Calculate the change in potential, that will give you the answer. Seventh one. A metal plate of area 1 into 10 power minus 4 meter square is illuminated by radiation of intensity 16 milliwatt per meter square. The work function of the metal is 5 electron volt. The energy of the incident photon is 10 electron volt, and only 10% of it produces photoelectron. The number of emitted photoelectrons per second and their maximum kinetic energy will be respected.
So you can calculate power, sir, using plate area into intensity.
So what is the formula for intensity? Intensity is power radiated per unit area per unit time. Sorry, power radiated per unit area. You know this, right?
Yes, sir.
Or we can say amount of energy radiated per unit area per unit time. That is also right. So the work function of the metal is 5 electron volt. The energy of the incident photon is 10 electron volt, and only 10% of it produces photoelectrons. The number of emitted photoelectrons per second and their maximum kinetic energy. Number of photoelectrons per second, I told you the formula. What is it?
So P by T is equal to N by T.
N by T is equal to, P by T is equal to N into E. So the number of electrons emitted. So H E is equal to, the work function is given, H nu naught, that is phi plus
Plus
kinetic
phi.
energy, plus the kinetic energy, right? So if you have to calculate the number of electrons per time, you need P by E. You need to calculate what is the power that is incident and what is the energy with which the electrons are coming out. So the energy they are trying to speak about is kinetic energy. So kinetic energy, you can calculate it as E minus phi. So what is the energy that is incident?
Phi, sir. Total.
The energy is incident is 10 electron volt minus 5 electron volt. So 5 electron. Power is how much power? So did you calculate the power?
So 16 into 10 power minus 7.
16 into 10 power minus 7.
Minus 7 watt.
Divided by the energy. Energy is what? 5 electron volt. No.
So I'll get N by T as 10 power 12.
And what should you substitute in the denominator? 10 electron volt or 5 electron volt?
10, sir.
Yes. So 10 into 10 power minus 10 into 1.6 into 10 power minus 12 minus 19, right? So what are you getting? 10 power 12.
Sir.
So the number of electrons per unit time is 10 power 12, but what are they saying? Only 10% of them are coming out. So 10% of this will be how much?
So 10 power 11.
10 power 11, where is the answer? 10 power 11. And their kinetic energy is 5 electron volt. That's what we have got. 8.1. The magnetic field associated with the light wave is given at the origin by B is equal to B naught into sine of 3.14 into 10 power 7 Ct plus sine of 6.28 into 10 power 7 Ct. If this light falls on a silver plate having a work function of 4.7 electron volt, what will be the maximum kinetic energy of the photoelectrons? So what is the answer? So after this, do the 9th one also. With that, we can wind up. நீங்க வச்சிருங்க அடுத்து. Thanks. Are you guys there?
Sir, 7.72 electron.
For which one? Eighth one, huh?
8th one, sir. First one.
Let me check. .72 electron. Yeah, that is the answer. So what did you do? You should have calculated the frequency of the light that is incident. Right? Once you calculate the frequency that is incident, h nu should be equal to work function plus kinetic energy. So they've given you work function, so you need to calculate the kinetic energy. Actually, the problems are simple. Only thing calculation you need to be careful. 9th one. Make it fast now. You have another class. So surface of a certain metal is first illuminated with the light of wavelength lambda1 as 350 nanometer, and then by light of wavelength 540 nanometer. It is found that the maximum speed of the maximum speed, not kinetic energy, maximum speed of the photoelectrons in the two cases differ by a factor 2. So differ by a factor 2. The work function of the metal is close to. So how you can do is hc by lambda1 will be equal to work function plus half mv square. hc by lambda2 will be equal to w plus half m of what should we write?
So V by
Not v
2
by
is
2.
square. 2 is
Differs by a factor of 2 means if this is v, that one will be how much? The second one will be, will it be 2v or 3v? Are you able to understand what I'm asking?
2 is
It should be 3v because it differs, the velocity differs by a factor of 2. So to the existing value, you need to add how much? 2v for the difference to come out as 2. So it will be 3v the whole square. Don't write a 2v, that will go wrong. You have two equations, two unknowns. Solve for it, you will get the answer. Okay, so this part you guys calculate and tell me what is the answer. I'm not sure what is this. So it is 1.8 electron volt. See if it is matching. Okay. You can try from the next class activity and semiconductors. Okay, so I'll wind up the session with this.
I'm getting 1.8, sir.
Yeah, 1.8 is the answer.